welcome to Exiles TV. I'm Bill Profita, glad to be with you. And I don't know if you're going to be glad with what I'm going to talk about in this first segment. We have a lot of tropical activity this early in the season. And yes, it looks like some of it is going to impact our viewing area. Tropical Storm Bill, thanks so much, is off the Atlantic coast right now. It's going to be what my good buddy Jay Grimes refers to as a fish storm, in all likelihood. There is an invest off that sloping coast of South America that has a 40% chance of turning into something tropical. And if it does, this is the one that will likely make that pass between South America, Costa Rica, Cuba, and the peninsula there, the Yucatan Peninsula, and end up somewhere near our backyard, but that's a long way away. That's about 10 days worth. The big problem we've got right now is we have got a tropical depression that is forming in the Bay of Campeche. If you think of Mexico and you think of that big hook where the Yucatan is on this end, well, right down here, this is an area that is expected to develop, greater than 60% chance of developing over the next 24 hours. So this is going to cover a big bunch of real estate as it moves into the Gulf. Now, it is too early to know whether or not it's going to be northern Mexico, southern Texas, whether it's going to be northeast Texas and southwest Louisiana, whether it's going to be southeast Louisiana to Biloxi, Mississippi, whether it's going to be south central Louisiana to Mobile. We just don't know. But the area of disturbance is very big. At this particular point in time, it is taking up the entire landscape of the Bay of Campeche, which is about 170 miles wide. If it strengthens into a tropical storm, it will be named Claudette. Now, it is expected to move north, not northwest, not northeast, north at this particular point. It's still getting its act together, as they say, still getting organized. However, by Thursday, from Lake Charles to Lafayette to Baton Rouge to the river parishes to the Florida parishes to New Orleans to the North Shore, we have a 70% chance of developing some very large and very voluminous storms that will dump rain on an area that does not need any more rain. The forecast rain totals right now call for our friends in the Jennings area, 4 to 6 inches. In Lafayette, 6 to 8 inches. In Baton Rouge, 6 to 8 inches. You get down to Houma, Thibodaux, Morgan City, 8 to 10 inches. And then in the greater New Orleans area, which includes Plaquemines Parish, Jefferson Parish, 6 to 8 inches again. You get up to the North Shore, Covington, Mandeville, Slidell, the forecast right now is 8 to 10 inches. So this is something that we're going to want to watch and want to be very wary of. And I got to tell you what, these estimates, of course, are going to change as this thing moves and as it gets more organized. One of the things that has stuck with me by watching last night's 10 p.m. weather forecast talked about just 2 weeks ago and said, don't forget, while the overall rain total in our area was 8 to 10 inches, we had some bullseyes that were 16 to 20 inches. So again, we're going to have to keep an eye on this one and make your preps now. Make your preps now. There is no kind of forecast on the forward speed of this thing, but you know how a low pressure system gets attracted to a void. That high pressure system that's keeping us so hot That is way up in North Texas and Oklahoma right now. That is not going to help this thing break up anytime soon. And it is stationary. Now, if it starts to drift southeast, we got a chance that this thing is going to be a big nothing. But that remains to be seen. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And you keep an eye on it too over the next couple days. And when we meet again, maybe we'll have a little more accurate information. Maybe we'll have some good news. Back in a moment on Exiles TV.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us. I'm Bill Profita. Kevin Gallagher is still recuperating from his treatments, and hopefully he will be back with us very, very, very shortly. And I always want to remind you that he sends his thanks for all your concern and all your good wishes and all the prayers you have offered for him, and they seem to be working quite well. We've had a lot of vehicular homicide in the last couple days. But I'm glad to say that we haven't had any purposeful gun, club, hand grenade, knife homicides in Baton Rouge. That doesn't mean that our crime rate is suddenly sinking. We're going to have Crime Stoppers on with us in a few minutes to talk about trying to catch some people that are in the wind that have committed crimes. But another new crime prevention district in the Baton Rouge area has been allowed by the state legislature. With the uptick we have in crime in Baton Rouge, residents in Old Goodwood, many of them, are relieved about a newly signed bill that would create a crime prevention district for the Old Goodwood subdivision in Baton Rouge if the voters in Old Goodwood agree to it this fall. Now, it's a very old community. It goes back 50, 60 years, has more than 2,000 homes and businesses, and they are looking to bolster crime prevention in the area, said Norm Ryan, the Old Goodwood Homeowners Association president. They have had some break-ins in what used to be a pretty crime-proof area. They had 2 people murdered recently. They've had a lot of vehicles stolen, and they have privately funded. Their homeowners association pays for police to patrol when they're off duty in Old Goodwood right now. So if the voters approve this, they will see 18 to 20 hours of presence of police who are, again, working for the homeowners association each and every day in Old Goodwood. Now, this will cost them about $120 a year per home, per business. Here's my problem with this. This is about the 6th or 7th one that we've seen in our area. So you go to the legislature and you say, hey, would you all approve us taxing ourselves more than everybody else to pay for what our tax dollars are supposed to give us, and that is crime prevention. In other words, the legislature now says that your homeowners association can tax you as they see fit to improve security in your home, in the area where you live, not your individual building. Pay for private police patrols. Does this strike anybody as an easy way out? If my tax dollars aren't going to fund a high level of police protection, which, by the way, would coincide with my high level of property tax and my high level of income tax and my high level of sales tax from purchasing inside this parish, then my recourse is to go to the legislature and ask their permission to tax myself further so that I can get police protection? Now, I'm not arguing that it's not more effective. What I am arguing is the perceived necessity. In every legislative session that's fiscal, we have 1 or 2 or 3 of these pop up just in our area alone. No telling how many in the other major cities or in rural communities, where they're basically voting to allow you to vote to have additional taxes on yourself so that you can have police protection. What's next? If you see your neighborhood is a little far from the nearest fire station, you're going to get a fire protection district and pay $120 or $140 or $180 a year per house to perhaps have a fire engine stationed a little closer to your home? What about EMS? We have a new hospital district in Baton Rouge. Let's say your neighborhood doesn't like their ride to the hospital. They'd like something a little closer. Are you going to petition the legislature to allow you to have a hospital district that's more accessible to you and you'll pay for it with your tax dollars? Satellite clinic, something like that? Now, I realize these examples are not real world yet. But the question I've got, and let's not forget the contribution the people in Old Goodwood make to the tax base. If you have to pay more, and you have to agree to it by force of law to get police protection in your area, what does that say about how our tax dollars are being spent right now? For those of you not from Baton Rouge, and I know our signal goes all over the place. For those of you not from Baton Rouge, let me tell you about Old Goodwood. The Old Goodwood area has houses that generally appraise in the $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 range. Consequently, the people who live there are not making minimum wage. The people who are living there are making six figures. So they're paying property tax at a rate that is above the average. They are paying income tax at a rate that's above the average to both the state and the feds. They are paying sales tax, because you got more, you spend more, at a rate that is higher than the average citizen in Baton Rouge. And now they're going to have to pay additional $120 a year, a tax that they will vote to put on themselves just to get police protection. You want to talk about disproportionate. You want to talk about separate and unequal. Has anybody ever thought that those who pay more should get more? That you shouldn't ask them to pay more again? They don't even get an offset, by the way, for this additional tax they are paying. They don't get an offset on their state tax return for this. And while I have several friends that live in Old Goodwood, while I wish them well, and I hope this tends to tamp down whatever crime problem they're experiencing, I'm saying you've given a hard pass to the city mothers and fathers of East Baton Rouge Parish, because they can go, whew, we don't have to answer to them. They're handling it on their own. That's a damn shame. Back in a moment on Exiles TV with Crime Stoppers. Stick around.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Dunnam Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
This is State Treasurer John Schroeder urging you to check your mailbox. We just mailed out $4.5 million of unclaimed property checks to people across Louisiana. Unclaimed property is lost money turned over to the Department of Treasury so we can return it to you. The process is so easy, you can claim it right from your phone. Check for yourself, check for your family, and don't forget to check your businesses. This is your money. Claim it. Check your mailbox. And cash your check. It's that easy.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us this afternoon. Well, it is no secret that we got a lot of crime in our viewing area, and sometimes these people escape justice until you intervene. You do that most of the time through Crime Stoppers. Jonny Dunnam, former BRPD deputy chief, joins us. He is now the head of Crime Stoppers of the Greater Baton Rouge area.
Pleasure.
And Jonny, always glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here, Bill. Thank you.
So, tell everybody, for the uninitiated, what our Crime Stoppers unit does, how big a geographical area, and how we function.
Well, Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit organization. We are embedded at the Baton Rouge Police Department, or in the Violent Crime Unit at the State Police. So we have a coordinator, Don Coppola, that runs the day-to-day operations, and a criminal analyst, Brandy Alford, who's also there, answers the phones and all from the tips that we get. But Crime Stoppers is there for the public to help alleviate their fear of giving information to the police related to crime. So what Crime Stoppers does is we kind of eliminate those two barriers to the public giving information. One of those barriers being they're worried about retribution if they give information. So Crime Stoppers removes that through the anonymity portion. When you call Crime Stoppers, we don't ask your name. We don't want any information from you other than the information related to the crime. We'll give you a code number so that we deal specifically with code numbers. We don't know what your real name is. We don't know anything like that. And we also eliminate apathy through the fact that we give rewards for that information. So we'll give anywhere from $250 up to $5,000 depending on the severity of the crime. Multiple homicides we give $5,000. Fugitives like this we usually give $250 to $300 for information on fugitive arrests. And that's why Crime Stoppers is there. It's been there for 38 years. It's been very successful.
And it's private money. It's not public money.
It's private money. We take donations is how we fund the tips, the payments for the tips.
Now, I know they've apprehended people in probably the murder that has had the most focus lately in our area.
On College Drive.
That was the Fairway View Pool.
Yep.
Where you had 2 young people killed and a child, an 18-month-old killed at the same time. And the shooters were helped by relatives to escape for a while.
Yeah.
Would that have been a Crime Stoppers case had they not been apprehended?
Yeah, obviously we received information on that particular homicide. We also received the information that led to the arrest of David Williams and the 15-year-old juvenile in Texas, the U.S. Marshal's Office, which we work very closely with when people are out of the jurisdiction to apprehend. We received the tip also that told us that they were in Texas. And those 2 were apprehended there by the U.S. Marshal's Office.
All right, well, let's see what we got today.
All right.
Jonathan, you want? He's got the names. You want to call up a name?
Yeah, we'll start with Stanley Victor Jr. Oh, okay. We'll start with Paul Quinn.
Paul Quinn.
Okay. Now, Paul Quinn is a white male, 5'4", 130 pounds. He's about 51 years old. He's wanted out of Livingston Parish, and like you mentioned earlier, Crime Stoppers doesn't just handle Baton Rouge area. We handle 8 parish area: Livingston, West Baton Rouge, Ascension, Iberville, Point Capee, the Felicianas, both East and West Feliciana as well. So
that's a big footprint.
Yeah, 8 parish area with Crime Stoppers. So it is a big footprint. Well, the majority of our calls and tips are related to Baton Rouge, the sheriff's office here in East Baton Rouge as well. So we have a pretty big area to cover, but it's pretty much a viewing area probably.
Yeah.
But Paul was is wanted for aggravated flight from an officer where human life is endangered, DWI, speeding, and operating a motor vehicle with a suspended license and no seatbelt. The warrant for Paul through the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office is for not showing up in court. He failed to appear in court on January 11th, 2021. So Livingston would like to apprehend him and get him in front of a judge.
All right, so let's see. Apparently, he got stopped because he was driving erratically, and they found he was DWI.
Right.
And then they found he had a suspended license.
Yes.
And then he apparently swung at, or maybe actually hit, or scuffled
he
with
fled.
an officer.
Well, the officer, the endangerment comes in when those pursuit, high-speed pursuit.
Oh, he fled in his vehicle.
He fled in his vehicle, yes. So that's where that came in. He didn't appear for court. The two warrants I have from Livingston are both failure to appear. They were arrested, booked, given a court date, released from jail, and they decided not to show for the court date. So
this is Paul. Is it Quinn?
It's O'Quinn.
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 Paul O'Quinn, not spelled like Cajun A-U.
Yeah.
O-Q-U-I-N-N. Livingston Parish is where this arrest took place. I assume his last known address is in Livingston Parish.
Actually, his last known address is on Bunting Drive in Baton Rouge.
Bunting Drive in Baton Rouge. Do we know anything about him, what he does for a living or anything like that?
don't have that information. If anybody has that information, obviously where he possibly could be working would be valuable information for the Livingston Sheriff's Office.
So here's what you need to do. Call Crime Stoppers, 344-STOP. You don't have to give your name, or you can do it online at
www.crimestoppersbr.com. We take web tips, and we also have an app called P3. The letter P and the number 3. You can go to the App Store or Google Play and download the P3 app and pick Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers on the app and submit a tip that way.
And I don't mean to be flippant about this, but that app can be quite entertaining. And you can use it anywhere they've got Crime Stoppers.
Yeah, you can pick whatever area you're in, pick the Crime Stoppers in that area, and submit tips. You can submit video tips, audio, pictures, anything through the app.
But let's try to get this guy, and I would imagine when he's apprehended, he's going to have to show up for court. They're going to set a very high bond or keep him in custody.
They could potentially do that, yeah.
All right, who do we have next?
All right, let's see who we got.
All right, Jonathan, go ahead and give us another picture. We'll roll with you.
All right, Stanley Victor Jr., who's a black male. He's 36 years of age. His last known address was on Harding Boulevard in Baker. He is wanted for one count of attempted second-degree murder and illegal use of a weapon or dangerous instrumentality. On June 5th of 2021, uniformed patrol officers, BRPD uniformed patrol officers responded to a shooting incident in the 12,000 block of Lamargie Avenue. Upon arrival, they located the victim suffering from a gunshot wound to his midsection. The victim advised that he was shot by the defendant while he was sitting inside his vehicle in the parking lot area of the complex.
Now, the victim has survived.
The victim has survived.
But Stanley Victor, he fingered him. He said, I was shot by this guy.
That's right.
And so now we got to try to find him.
We got to find him. Violent felon that's involved in a shooting. Obviously, it's been a problem in Baton Rouge area recently, so we want to make sure we get this guy off
He
the
doesn't
streets.
really look his age. You said he's in his 30s, right?
36, 11/16 of 84 was his date of birth.
Height and weight?
Height and weight, we have 5'8", 150 pounds.
So he's got an average build.
Yeah.
He does have a rather youthful face. Do we know anything about any priors on this guy or anything
No,
like
I don't
that?
have his criminal history with me at the moment, but obviously he's wanted for 2 serious felony offenses.
And I would assume that since the offenses he is wanted for include illegal use of a weapon and attempted second-degree murder, you don't want to try to do anything yourself. You just want to call.
Just call. Just call 344-STOP, 344-7867, or go on the P3 app and submit the information.
Let me ask you something. We're going to take a break in about 2 minutes, so we'll go to our somebody else that we need to look for. But I want to ask you something. After this homicide at Fairway View, everybody made an appeal to the public to help, which is something that you do every day. And for some reason, in this case, it seemed to work.
Yeah.
The Violent Crimes Unit got a lot of tips. I assume you got a lot of phone-ins that you referred to.
We did.
Is it because there was a child
I think the child had something to do with it. Obviously, when people see homicides, unfortunately, there's been so many homicides, especially in the last couple of years, that people kind of get desensitized to it. You know, they see it on in the media and on the social media all the time. But whenever it involves a child, I think it raises their awareness. You know, I wish they felt that way on every homicide. And we do get a lot of calls on other homicides as well. But obviously, this one really sparked the interest of the public, and we did receive a lot of calls.
Well, and again, I hate to put it so bluntly, but how much of it comes down to geography? We've had a bunch of shooting incidences in 70808, which up until probably 3 months ago thought they were pretty much immune to that.
Yeah, College Drive area, we've seen an increase in the last month in shootings in that area. Usually, you know, people think 70802, 70805, but you know, criminals don't see boundary lines. They they're crimes of opportunity a lot of times, and you know, we ask the public to take precautions whenever they're out and about. You know, don't keep your face stuck in your phone. Be aware of your surroundings, especially walking to your car and all, and make sure that you're aware of what's going on around you. And if you see something suspicious, call us. You know, it might lead to an arrest on some valuable piece of information that the officers may need.
Jonathan, put Mr. Victor's picture back up, if you would, one more time, Jonathan, so that everybody gets a look at him. This is Stanley Victor, and we gotta find him.
Yep.
He was accused by the victim of shooting him while he sat in his car on the Margie Drive just 10 days ago in Baton Rouge. So take a good look. If you know anything at all, call 344-STOP or go to crimestoppersbr.com, or if you got the P3 app, dial it up, and don't wait. Do it now. If you know something, say something. We'll be back with more in just a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bellello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
This is State Treasurer John Schroeder urging you to check your mailbox. We just mailed out $4.5 million of unclaimed property checks to people across Louisiana. Unclaimed property is lost money turned over to the Department of Treasury so we can return it to you. The process is so easy, you can claim it right from your phone. Check for yourself, check for your family, and don't forget to check your businesses. This is your money. Claim it. Check your mailbox. And cash your check. It's that easy.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us. Jonny Dunnam, who is the Executive Director of Crime Stoppers Greater Baton Rouge, is with us. We're talking about your help and how much help it really is in getting some bad people off the streets. Before I get to our next person, there was a story that ran out of New Orleans yesterday about 170% increasing in carjackings inside Orleans Parish alone. I have heard that we are seeing a little bit of an uptick of that in Baton Rouge and Lafayette as well. What are you hearing?
I haven't really heard of any uptick in carjackings. I know the AG, Attorney General, just sent out a memo to the public basically to kind of warn them about the uptick in carjacking, especially in Orleans Parish. I don't know of any real upticks that we've had in Baton Rouge with carjackings, but obviously you need to be aware, and that goes back to people are always on those cell phones nowadays. They're not paying attention. Keep your doors locked in your cars and pay attention to what's going on. Just set the cell phone down for a little while. If somebody approaches you at a stoplight or somewhere, the best thing to do, if you have your door locked, is to, if you can, drive away. If not, the car's not worth your life. Give the car up. More than likely they're going to catch that person.
I remember when I was a much younger person and carjacking first became a thing. One of the things that would happen is if you were at a stop sign or a stop light, they would bump you very tappily. You'd think you were in an accident.
Yeah.
You'd get out of your car and they'd jump in and take your car.
Yeah. Well, if somebody bumps you and you don't feel safe in getting out, obviously, I would get on the phone with the police, dial 911 or 389-2000 locally. Drive to a well-populated area or police station if it's close by. Let the person know I'm not getting out here. I'm just drive to that location and pull in and do it that way.
All right, let's get back to people we're looking for now. We have one more or two more to go here.
Yeah, one more.
We have one more to go.
Yeah, and then there's something else I'd like to talk about.
Sure enough. Jonathan, bring up this lovely lady whom we are looking for now. This is our only female suspect today.
Yeah, and this is another warrant, a bench warrant out of Livingston Parish. Tracy Renee Fountain. Last known address is on Key Street in Meriguan, Louisiana, and she's wanted for the theft of over $5,000 or more and failure to appear on that charge. She's 46-year-old white female.
She certainly looks happy. Is that her booking shot?
That's a booking shot. It could be, well, let's see, the blue background, it might be a DL photo.
Oh,
Depends.
my goodness.
So
all right, she stole money?
Stole something of value of $5,000 or more. I'm not sure, it doesn't say because it's a bench warrant. There's no actual warrant other than the bench warrant that I have the information
So, once again, she bonded out and failed to appear.
That's right.
All right, Tracy Fountain. Try to think of her with somebody else's goods stuffed into her purse. Forget about that smile.
Yeah, definitely. And she's 5'2", about 115 pounds.
And that's always the little ones.
Yeah.
5'2", 115, white female. Lives in Meriguan, apparently.
That's the last known address, is on Key Street in Meriguan, Louisiana.
And she is wanted out of Livingston Parish. If you know Tracy, you know something about this. 344-STOP. Use the app, the P3 app. If you've got, I highly recommend the app. Or crimestoppersbr.com. All right.
All right.
What else you want to talk about?
I guess
today?
in the last month we've had 2 shootings of BRPD units.
Yes.
Officers were inside both of those units, and the first one occurred on May 21st on Bard Avenue where it struck the officer's window, shattered the window while the officer was in the vehicle. The officer wasn't injured, but obviously if somebody's going to shoot at an armed police officer, they're not far from shooting anybody. So anybody that has information on that shooting, that on May 21st on Bard Avenue, we'd ask them to call Crime Stoppers. We are offering a reward, substantial reward, for information on that shooting, as well as the second shooting that occurred this past Saturday, and it was in the 700 block of Choctaw Drive, and the bullet struck the front fender, front driver's side fender of the police unit while the officer was out on Choctaw Drive, and there were 2 officers actually in this unit when the vehicle was shot. So we want to make sure we get these individuals or individual off the streets. Obviously, if they shoot at an officer, they'll shoot at anybody.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Your chances of successfully out battling a police officer are not terribly good unless they're doing this from far away. Do the officers involved, did they hear a shot, or did they just feel the impact?
The first incident, the officer heard the shot. The second incident, they didn't hear a gunshot. Now, there was some noise and things going on. They were inside in the unit, probably the police radio going off, so they didn't hear the shot, but they felt or heard something strike the vehicle. When they got out, they saw the bullet had entered the front side fender of the unit.
This is the kind of thing that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up.
Yeah.
Because you have to wonder if there's another motivation, if they're trying to send a message,
yeah,
or what this really is all about, and if they're doing it from a distance, if they're acting as if they are snipers. I mean, we lost 3 and had 3 wounded by somebody that thought he was a sniper.
Yeah, that's right.
Just 5 years ago.
Yeah, on June 16th. Yeah, that's right. So. Yeah, we want to make sure that if anybody has any information, that they call Crime Stoppers at 344-7867 or 344-STOP. They go to the P3 app and give us that information because we'd like to get the individual or individuals off the street that are committing this crime.
Again, we have a lot of gunplay, particularly involving vehicles, where when people are caught, or when people are identified and may not have been caught yet, a lot of them are very young. They're 17, 16, 15.
Well, like at the College Drive shooting,
yes.
One of the individuals was 15 years old, yeah.
And there was a call from a state representative, and she said, flat out, you parents, you grandparents, you know if those kids have a weapon, and you need to turn them in. Is that getting any traction at all, as far as you can tell?
Well, I mean, we do receive calls. We have campus Crime Stoppers as well when school's in session, or we'll get kids that'll call in Crime Stoppers and give information on guns in the schools. We've been successful with that. So we do get calls, but if you're a parent or a grandparent and that juvenile is living with you, go in their room. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say it. So, check their room, search their room. If you feel like they may be hiding something, gun, whatever it may be, and you find one, call the police department or call Crime Stoppers, and we'll get the officers out to the house. If you don't want to leave your name or any information, and we'll get the officers to retrieve that weapon. A juvenile should not have a weapon.
No. One of the recent cases where they arrested someone. It was the Be Quick shooting.
Yes, the road rage incident.
And I understand that the media doesn't always have good, full information, but the person that was taken into custody was 18 years old, and he used a handgun. And it's not legal for an 18-year-old to possess a handgun or to be driving around with a handgun in this state.
Yep.
And that's another charge.
That's another charge, that's right. So, yeah, anybody that's under the age of 21 should not have a handgun. Legally they can't possess one.
Well, what is next as far as Crime Stoppers of Greater Baton Rouge with your 9-parish area? How are things progressing?
Right now, we're progressing really well. We may have some potential changes coming in, potentially a name change. We are Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers Incorporated, but we may go to a more regional approach, may potentially change the name to a capital region, capital area Crime Stopper, something like that, because we do see the need. Some of the other parishes, I'll go speak to the Rotary clubs and different organizations in other parishes, and a lot of the public do not realize that Crime Stoppers covers their area. They think it's a Baton Rouge thing only. So, you know, we're researching that. It could be potentially where we're headed.
Well, it's probably not a bad idea. I know that a lot of the sheriff's departments, you know, when their elected sheriff or their high-ranking deputies go out to speak, they say, you know, we are part of Crime Stoppers.
Right.
But maybe in some of the smaller communities, there's that disconnect.
There is that disconnect. You know, they see it on the news, and it's basically just says Crime Stoppers. You usually don't throw in Baton Rouge or Greater Baton Rouge Crime Stoppers. We usually like the media just to say call Crime Stoppers. You know, you call 344-7867, you're going to get our office.
Mm-hmm. Now, your offices, for all intents and purposes, are at the Major Crimes Unit?
It's at the Violent Crime Unit. That's at State Police Headquarters.
State Police.
Yeah.
State Police
State Police Colonel has been gracious to allow us the space to be right next to the Violent Crime Unit for BRPD, for the Sheriff's Office and the State Police. So we're embedded in there, so when we get information, we're able to walk right down the hall and talk to the detective that's working the case.
Can't ask for much more than that.
That's right.
Jonny Dunnam, Crime Stoppers of Greater Baton Rouge. We're going to have you back more regularly, and we may be even doing something a little more special with y'all. We'll see if we can do something a little longer. Again, if you have information on any crime in the 9-parish area at all, it doesn't have to be the 3 we talked about today. If you think you know that your neighbor walked his warrant, call Crime Stoppers, 344-STOP. You never have to give your name, and there could be a cash reward. And take again, think about the 3 we put up today. If you know anything about them, even their whereabouts, pick up the phone, make the call, use the P3 app. It is absolutely free. Or go to crimestoppersbr.com. We'll be back in a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Dunnam Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us as we run through what's going on in the day. Again, you know, I certainly don't want to act like I am a weather forecaster, because I'm certainly not. But I'm passing along what the weather forecasters are saying. Tropical Storm Bill, which is the next one to get a name, is off in the North Atlantic by now. It is not going to be a problem. But this thing that will pretty much 65, 70% sure become Claudette in the Bay of Campeche, which is that big hook in southern Mexico, now shows about a 70% chance of strengthening over the next 36 hours. This is a big, big, big weather system. And there is no high pressure system to bump it, to move it, so it is going to come north. Now, as of right now, the weather forecasters do not have any kind of a forecast track or anything like that. It's still too far away. But the weather forecasters are saying no matter which way this system goes, because it is so large, we are going to have a substantial rain event throughout South Louisiana. So what we're talking about is beginning Thursday, when the rain chance goes up to about 70%, and this thing begins to move to the north. Lafayette is going to have between 4 to 6 inches of rain starting on Thursday. Baton Rouge, 6 to 8. Down in the Bayou, Houma, Morgan City, 8 to 10. Plaquemines Parish, 8 to 10. St. James Parish, 8 to 10. Orleans Parish, 6 to 8. And then the North Shore, on top of Lake Pontchartrain, 8 to 10. This is forecast right now. And again, we are still far enough away to where this thing could change. But you can't take it for granted. Most likely it's going to become Tropical Storm Claudette. Now, we just had Jonny Dunnam with Crime Stoppers on. Here is a good story. There's one man burglarized 29 cars at the Hyatt Place Hotel right across from Mall, Louisiana. 22-year-old Dejon, D-A-J-O-N West, has been booked in connection with those 29 burglaries. Each of the windows, each of the cars he got into, didn't have any finesse. He just shattered the windows. He did manage to get a weapon from one vehicle, and he also managed to cut himself on the glass that he shattered on one vehicle. The Sheriff's Department's deputies recovered that blood. They sent it over to state police, and guess what? He was in the system already due to a previous charge that he was awaiting trial on for simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling. Apparently he's kind of clumsy. He cut himself there too and left some blood. So they arrested him originally for the burglary of the car from which they retrieved the blood, and then they went back and they arrested him for the 28 other cars. So he is now a guest of the taxpayers of East Baton Rouge Parish. Apparently, no bond has been set on the 28 that they rearrested him for. After they arrested him for the first one, he bonded out. But this is a very good example of how little bits of information can work to help solve a crime and help put somebody behind bars. And as my old roommate, who was a state trooper, told me, he said, you know, it's a funny thing. Thieves are always clumsy. Apparently this one was. Who do you think is going to be the new LSU head coach? We're going to probably talk about this more later in the week. Paul Mainieri, of course, has exited the big stage. He will no longer be head coach of the LSU baseball Tigers. He is staying on as a consultant in the athletic department for all sports, but also for baseball. And he has offered him his help to whoever will be the new head coach. We have got a whole lot of names that are floating around, but as far as I can tell, the names on the short list are all people that really can't talk about it right now because their teams are competing in either super regionals or in the College World Series. So we will see who gets the call to come out of the bullpen and take over the highly successful LSU baseball program. I would like to say that it was a sad way for Paul Mainieri to end his coaching career. That Tennessee team in that deciding game of the Super Regional was just playing lights out baseball. And LSU tried very, very hard, but they absolutely got blown out. You know, I think there was a possibility that Tennessee, a damn good team, was going to edge LSU out of that Super Regional, and I think everybody was kind of aware of that. But that blowout, I think, made it very, very hard for the team, for Coach Mainieri, and for the people who are fans that have admired him so much. So, Coach, don't worry about it. We're going to remember all the wins and all the great games. That one was just kind of a fluke, and it just kind of happened on your last day. Thanks so much for being with us again. Remember to watch the weather. Until we meet again, be safe, stay dry, and God bless.